Yo, what is up, Vicco gang? In today's video, I'll be talking about GEKISHIN SQUADRA, Dragon Ball GEKISHIN SQUADRA, because this will actually be my Season 1 review for Dragon Ball GEKISHIN SQUADRA. Even though, as of right now making this video, I'm pretty sure there's like 2-ish weeks left of the season, but I think I got my thoughts already like finalized for this game so far in its first season. Now let's get right into it, man. I got some criticisms, but of course some positives, and you know, let's get into it. All right, chat, like, comment, subscribe if you're down for this type of video, because I am really actually pretty passionate about this game. I think this game is really cool and stuff. Okay, but let's say that for this segment right now. Okay, so bang, right? So the positives with Dragon Ball GEKISHIN SQUADRA. Okay, I'm just get these out the way. Okay, because the positives are really strong. Okay, the positives are really strong. I want you guys to like I want to hammer that home that these positives are very positive for this game. As you can see right now, boom, right on screen, I have the game on, right? I think the game looks very, very visually appealing. The visuals are just very nice for this game. Some of the best in Dragon Ball right now. It looks really nice. It looks really nice. The models are great and stuff, you know, and even the presentation and all that stuff, the aesthetic of the game is fantastic in my opinion. I love the aesthetic of this game. You know, everyone looks great in this game. Everyone looks great in this game. Okay, and along with that, the gameplay of these characters is also fantastic too. Not just these characters, of course, the game in general. Okay, but I do have my nitpicks and critiques of the gameplay, but overall I love the gameplay of this game. Okay, and it's really surprising because I did not think I would like this kind of game. You know, this MOBA. You know, this is a MOBA. You know, I always thought those games look, you know, with all due respect, really whack. You know, really stinky doo-doo. But this game, I actually quite love it quite a bit. Yes, indeed. All right, so yes, I do love this game. I actually do think the game is really fun and really nice. The gameplay loop is really good in my opinion. It's a very strong game in that respect. Okay, I do think there might be like some more things to do in the game. Maybe another map at least or something. But other than that, I think the gameplay itself is, I think that's a whole other thing in general. But the gameplay is really nice. Okay, really nice. I want to hammer that home that the game itself, I think, is really nice. Okay, but let's get on with the critiques, man. Okay, because I do have quite a bit of critiques, but I want to also get this out, and these are criticisms out of respect for this game. You know, I want this game to go the distance, and I want this game to succeed and do well, you know, because this game is really good in my personal opinion, to where I don't want them to do, you know, any more poopy stinky stuff that they, you know, some stuff that's scattered around in this game, you know, like some poopy stuff, you know. So let's get right into that. Okay, so I guess I should mention this first, where in the gameplay like side of things is the freaking towers. Okay, and specifically GEKISHIN bursts. Okay, the thing about GEKISHIN bursts is that I feel like I don't know what you can do about them. In my opinion, I have no idea what you can do about them. Like I can't think of anything, but there's something off about them. Okay, and it's not just because of the chipping thing, which I'll get into very soon, but I don't know, like, because obviously if you guys played the very first beta from like over a year ago now, literally all you had to do was ult dump and you killed the boss. You know what I mean? Like there's like literally like no like counterplay to that. You just drop a spirit bomb nuke, you just drop supernovas on it, it's gone. You know what I mean? You know, you cool supernova, Vegeta Big Bang, it's over for the friggin' tower. So it has to be like this, right? But the chipping thing is the biggest problem with it. Okay, because no amount of defense can override just a little rat dork, you know, getting into your back line and just backdooring the friggin' tower. You know what I mean? Like, we all know the hits, the Friezas, the Kid Gohans, or even sometimes the random like maniac freaking Bojack or something that like goes rebel mode and just goes, you know, and freaking nicks at the tower, right? Or not even that, they just go and just shoot the tower, you know, GEKISHIN bursting, you know what I mean? And they're like, I think the GEKISHIN burst system needs some tweaking in general too, like regardless of the chipping thing, because I don't know, sometimes I feel like they get some cheap freaking GEKISHIN burst in there, man. I don't know, I know you level up through the match and you're supposed to ramp up the match and stuff. I don't know, man, sometimes it feels like instant and you swear on everything you hit them. So, but I don't know, but that also applies with the chipping, because they just chip away, you know, when the tower is low. It doesn't matter if, you know, a freaking a player or two dies, you know, they got the damage off and then boom, they freaking get the tower and boom, that's totally worth it. And the other two players on the team, all they have to do is sit back and defend, you know what I mean? Like even if those two, the other two that I just, you know, this little example I'm saying, right? Even if they don't necessarily take the tower down, it's almost done, and then they just wait until, you know, at least one of them responds, and then you know, someone goes to the tower, they chip it, you know, for the rest of it, you know, the rest of its health away, and boom, the tower is gone. You know, let's say that's the last tower they need. Like it's so lame. It is really lame. And you can just really just like kind of like guerrilla tactic it, you know, to death, you know, the tower, and it's really lame, really corny, right? So I don't know how else you're supposed to like fix that or something, but I don't know. Like that is definitely a criticism I have of the game. Kind of just like the corny strats that it kind of enables in this game. Not a fan. I'll be honest, not a fan of that. And also some, you know, let's just say character balancing, okay? Because they released 3 new characters this season from the base roster, okay? Let's get into it. Super Saiyan 3, Son Goku, Super Saiyan Gotenks, and God of Destruction Toppo. Okay, and we all know how powerful these three are at this point, I'm assuming, right? God Toppo, I think he's from, I think the general consensus is that he's all right. He's okay. You know what I mean? He's all right. He doesn't necessarily do anything that special. He's kind of has a weird design philosophy where he feels like he's designed as a tank, but he's a freaking damage character. So he's definitely a little weird, but I think he can obviously be effective in any in any given situation. Just of course, might be harder for him than most other damage characters, right? Gotenks, I think he is actually quite strong. I do think he is probably a top tier tech character, but I do think the tech category is very healthy. I think all the tech characters are good, but unfortunately, I do think 17 is the worst, though. Even though I think he's good, but I think the thing with him is that he does require more of a brain, unfortunately, than the other tech characters. But because Gotenks' abilities are crazy, okay? Especially his freaking ghosts. They can be so annoying. I know you can shoot them, but you're just wasting an ability of yours unless you have freaking ranged attacks, ranged auto attacks, normal attacks, whatever, rush attacks to deal with them. But I don't even know that even works against them, I'm not gonna lie, guys. But I know for a fact they can be canceled out by another energy special attack or whatever, right? Either way, Gotenks is really strong. He does quite a bit of damage, and I forgot to mention his freaking second ability, I believe, right? I believe that this is like his little combo barrage thing that stuns. That move is so cringe. I'm sorry. Like, I feel like this little rat throws it out and it just works. It just works. I know you can vanish out of it, but it's still annoying. It's still annoying, especially if he actually does somehow catch you without your vanish. He gets a free stun. He gets a free stun that does a decent chunk of damage, and it's just an annoying move. So I think Gotenks, and of course his ultimate makes you to where you can't use any of your abilities. Gotenks is a very strong character all around, but the real thug here is Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Okay, Super Saiyan 3 Goku is a top tier DPS, and I be seeing comments how he's actually not that bad to deal with. Oh wow, he's not that bad to deal with. If a large majority of the player base is complaining about a character, I think something needs to be at least addressed with them, right? At least a tad bit. But I do semi-agree because I think he is semi-manageable. I do think, because literally his entire game plan is to snipe people with his skill 1, the Super Kamehameha, and of course the instant transmission into an enemy, and instant transmission Kamehameha them in the face, right? But the thing about this thing is that it does 1 billion damage, and he shoots it for like literally 50 million years. Like literally he shoots it for so freaking long. Look, he shoots it for so long. Like, why does he shoot it for so long? And low-key, why does he turn that fast? I think he turns insanely fast, in my opinion. And it's insanely long. Like, geez Louise, dude. Like, that thing maxed out is the most annoying move in the game. It is the most annoying move in the gosh darn game. And it does so much damage. He gets so much value for just holding and releasing the button. He can take over a lane. He can confirm kills. He can, like, he is very powerful. Okay, he is very powerful. And I do think that he needs to get just a little bit of a nudge down. And honestly, I don't think his damage numbers need to be tweaked. I do think just honestly the duration of his Kamehameha and the speed at which he's able to turn and redirect the Kamehameha, I think those two just need to be lower, in my opinion. And I guess the first thing I said, it does tie into less damage, but I don't know. I think just a little tweak or two on this Goku would be nice. Okay, because he is very strong and doesn't necessarily help people believing and saying this notion of this game being pay to win, which is going to be another huge critique here in a bit. Okay, the monetization in this game, okay? Because I really like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, so I had to get him. I really like Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I had to get him, but I'm not necessarily interested in these two characters. I would like to try them. I'm not paying I don't want to pay money. I don't want to pay money to try out these characters, which I know for a fact I'm not going to use like literally barely at all, in my opinion, right? So that's another, I guess, gameplay aspect of it, okay, where it's like, that's nice and all, okay? Now, I guess I can sprinkle in another positive in this game where they are actually quite decent with their updates and their patches, because actually literally a few days ago as I'm recording this, they released patch notes for buffs to Zamasu and Gamma 1 and 2, the Gammas, and they actually really did, they adjusted the crap out of the Gammas here. Like, it's really nice to see, because the Gammas, they're one of the cooler DPSs, but it's definitely, you need way more effort with them to get value. So I do think this is a really needed buff for them. And I don't know how much this Zamasu buff did. I don't really know exactly, but I know for sure that this Gamma buff really bumped them up in their usability, right? And I do like that. I do like how they're, because they did address, especially with these patch notes here, that they were literally thinking about putting out patches every season, like once a season. Like, no, I cannot. That was not hype, right? So I'm glad that they actually decided to put out patches during the season which I feel like is really smart, okay, and actually really healthy for the game, especially when this thug Super Saiyan Goku was around. He got nerfed, and you know, Boo was buffed, and I think I do think Boo is good now. I do think he's quite usable in my opinion. Maybe he's not the best tech, but I do think he's actually not a throw pick now. Unfortunately, with Goku though, the nerf wasn't too much. The nerf was honestly on the one, like, well, the Meteor Hammer was a problematic move. It was, right? But I honestly think his Spirit Bomb and his Kamehameha are the real elephants in the room, so to speak, okay? So I guess that's another thing in the gameplay aspect I'm talking about, and also it's both the negative and positive here, okay? I do like how they are putting out patches more frequently than they were possibly planning, right? So I do like that, and they're actually pretty privy to the community's conversations, I guess, you know, and their needs and wants, and you know, these opinions and stuff like that. So I do like that about this game. I do like that, you know, and other stuff, like they also have this like cute little thing they're doing with pretty cool thing they're doing with these custom tournaments. I think that you can get this like crazy looking like diamond like Super Saiyan 3 Goku skin. You can get like money and Zenny and capsules and stuff, which I think is really nice of this game to do, right? But enough of that, okay? A lot of positives, a lot of critiques, but this is gonna be my biggest criticism yet, okay? The monetization in this game is not good. I don't like it. The costumes, I actually don't really mind too much. I don't mind the costumes too much, right? If you are a really big fan of a character, you know, like you can spend a couple dollars on a skin, you know what I mean? I think that's really nice, you know, big Goku fan, big Krillin fan, big freaking Piccolo fan, you know, like go for it, man. These are really good skins, really nice skins, really big Khalifa fan, really cool skin, really like an original like crazy skin for Khalifa being Fasha's freaking battle armor. That is really sick. You know, this Vegeta skin, really sick. You know, obviously the iconic Android 1718 outfits, really nice. You know, so if you're a big fan of these characters, these are really nice and worth picking up in my opinion. You know, this goes for a lot of games out there, you know, cosmetics. You know, this is pretty standard for this type of game, right? And of course, the capsules, if you want to count them, are a little interesting to say the least. I do think getting capsules is a little weird and poopy in this game, but I don't know. Like the capsule thing is a little interesting to say the least. I do think the gems to use like for these is ridiculous. I do think the amount of gems to spend to, you know, do pulls and summons on this game is kind of crazy in my opinion, right? So there's that. But my biggest critique with their monetization thing is having the new characters locked behind a paywall. That is not cool in my personal opinion, because what if I just want to try out the character? They literally have this trial system that's borderline useless when you get to a certain point in this game. Look, I don't have Frieza, Bojack, and 17 unlocked. Honestly, cool, because I'm probably never gonna play as a character. Like personally, I know Frieza's like kind of crazy, but he is kind of crazy. He is crazy, right? But you know, I'll probably never play as him. He's not my style, right? But literally, the trial feature is borderline useless at a certain point in this game, and it will be perfect to use it on these three characters, you know, on new characters. You know, perfect for them. Perfect, bro. You know, to see if you even like them, right? If you even like them. And it's really hilarious, in my opinion, because literally right when I started recording this, they put this out, notice of Trial Hero change. Trial Hero was available, Super Oob, Dabura, Cooler, Zamasu, Sun Gohan, Majin Buu. I do like they do list it out, because like I said, it's borderline freaking useless, right? So, and I know there's missions in this game and stuff, you know, for Battle Pass XP, I believe, that to use Trial Heroes, and you know, you do this and you get XP, right? But the actual core thing of a Trial Hero, you know, using a hero you don't have is useless. Like, I cannot use God Topo. I cannot use Gotenks unless I fork up the balloons to use them. You know what I mean? And it's like, I know I'm not gonna play as them. I know I'm never playing as them. That's the thing that really irks me, that they are not on trial. Like, why are they not on trial? You know, and I do think that I don't want to say luxury, but like that incentive of buying them to play as them that nanosecond and own them that nanosecond is valuable to a lot of players. You know what I mean? Like, if they literally change this to where they're on trial the first week that they release, you know, like Topo should have been, you know, available to play as for this past week or so, right? Because he released, I think, literally last week, the time of recording this, like almost exactly, like to the hour almost. And you know, like he could have been on trial. You know, you could have been trying him out, or maybe even limit the trial period, like to like a day or 2 or 3. I don't know, 2 to 3 days, right? From like 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. I don't know, right? I feel like I've been perfect, man. You know, like, you don't even own them is the thing. Like, what's the harm in that, dude? And also, I believe they should make it to where they are instantly available to unlock, but it will take a decent grind. You know what I mean? And people will do the grind. You know, I assure you, people will do the grind. I would have done the grind for these 2 characters, honestly. Or like, if they up the Dragon Gem acquisition rate in this freaking game to even get, you know, because it's literally 10 a week. Like, that is like pathetic amount of gems in my personal opinion. Like, I get it, you're gonna get a character for free, you know, as of right now, right? You know, like think about it, dude. Like in a million months you can afford a character, so you really have to think about what character to get for free. Like, dude, no, like, that's ridiculous in my opinion. I think they should be able to be obtained in some way, shape, or form for free. Okay, and I know they are doing that thing with the star collection system, but that is so whack. Out after the season. After the season, they're gonna be put in here, and who knows what they're doing. I think I've seen somewhere where this says coming soon or coming up when you reach the current max level, which is 118 right now. 118 it says coming up or coming soon more things or something like plus. It's like I saw it. And it's like, oh no, man. Like look, someone like me, I'm level 65 in this thing. You know, I think the max right now people can be, I believe, without spending any money and stuff like that or going crazy on the leveling up thing is like level 70 some, I believe. Right now, what's gonna happen when they add them into the star collection thing? Are they gonna be past 118? Like, that's literally gonna take another whole year to even get there, you know? That is gonna be absolutely ridiculous if that's the case. So that's like a cop out to me. Like, no, dude, like that cannot be the way that you're able to unlock these characters for free in this game. That's not even like a fair grind. You know what I mean? Like, they need to be available to obtain for free, like relatively like feasible, right? In a relatively feasible manner. Okay. Because I this is actually my least favorite part of the game. I think it's very whack. Like, I just want to try out the character for one day at least. Like, if they're gonna be that stingy, have them be on trial for a day. Bro, like literally just at least a day. Like, come on, I'll literally take that, bro. Because I still, like, I'm trying to say, I think the allure of having the character owned the nanosecond they come out, so you buy them for $7, right? $7 to get the character, right? $7 to get a character, right? And my thing is, like, I'm pretty sure these other games, these other MOBAs have ways to get these characters for free from the jump. Like, from the second they release, you are able to unlock them in a free-to-play way, okay? And in a semi-feasible manner, I'm pretty sure as well, right? Where you grind for like a week or two, maybe low-key straight, like a week or two straight of grinding, you're able to unlock God Topo, you're able to unlock Super Saiyan 3 Goku, you're able to unlock Super Saiyan Gotenks, and who knows what they're going to do next season. I really hope they do something with that system, this system of new characters, because it's not cool in my opinion. Not cool. Like, I am literally at least asking for 1 day trial character for these new characters. I think I saw that they're actually considering on doing this for these tier 1 heroes, which consist of 18, Hit, and Cell, right? These guys, right? But you know, clearly these guys are also in this tier 1 category of character because they all cost 250 gems. I remember Hit and 18 costing and you know, Cell and 18 they cost 250 because I did buy Cell and Hit off the jump. You know, I really wanted to play as Hit. Right, so, or they can at least give out a cute amount of gems at the start of a season and like, okay, you go crazy, man. Like, these is the only time we're gonna give out stones. These are the only times we're gonna give out gems in the season. This is all you're getting for the season. Use them wisely, type B, right? Maybe they barely give out like 150, like 200. Okay, boom, you use them, or 250. I don't know, use them to buy the battle pass, boom, and then boom, you're able to freaking get a freaking character for free. Like, I don't think that's even that bad. Maybe that's very, very, very optimistic of me to think. Oh, I'm not gonna lie, but that is something that has been ruminating in my mind for a little bit. But alas, again, I'll have to say this one more time, at least a trial, a day trial for these characters when they come out. At least that? Like, come on. I know it might be a little crazy trying to play as them on day 1, but you're definitely gonna get at least like a handful of matches, even when people are going crazy insta locking them, right? Like, come on. Like, it's ridiculous in my opinion. Like, that is aspect of the game. Come on, 1 day trials, 1 day character trial. Okay, that's all I gotta say. That's all I wanted to say. So that's my biggest critique of this game, in my personal opinion. You know, balancing aside, you know, that could be a thing, and like gameplay things like that. Maybe they can add a map or two. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Okay, but that is my biggest criticism of the game, because I love the gameplay of this game. I love the gameplay loop of this game. I love the aesthetic of this game. You know, I love all that stuff about this game. But those are the biggest criticisms I have with this game. Okay, so I'm gonna just throw this in. Just why not? Just throw this in. I'm gonna give this game right now a 7. I'm gonna be really cute right now. I'm gonna give this game a 7.7 out of 10, 7.8. Okay, I just want to say 7.7, like around there. I can barely not give it an 8 because those criticisms, I think they pile on too much for it to be an 8. You know what I mean? But it's like so close to an 8 in my opinion, at least, because that's how much I really like the gameplay and the aesthetic of this game. Like, actually, but yes, it'll be in the 7.7, 7.8 range right now. But yeah, man, those are my criticisms for Dragon Ball GEKISHIN SQUADRA. What are your thoughts on Dragon Ball GEKISHIN SQUADRA as of season 1 right now? Might be a tiny bit early because I know they're gonna release like a few events. Like, I think they're gonna release a Mr. Saiyan Hercule event very soon, but that's not gonna alleviate the issues I have with this game, because Oh my gosh. Yeah, there is events in this game, and they're very far and few between. That's also another criticism. So there you go. 7.7 for the game right now. 7.8, I don't freaking know. I can't decide. But either way, yeah, if you have your own criticisms, your own thoughts about Season 1 of GEKISHIN Squadra, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll love to know your thoughts on the game right now. And yeah, man. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I love GEKISHIN Squadra, but it needs to fix these things for it to be truly, truly great. Anyways, chat, has been yours truly freaking Vicco, and I am freaking gone. Some now.